Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Slavic Languages live show. This is a show that we create together. That means that at any time of the duration of the stream, you guys can call me in and we can improvise language challenges as usual. So welcome back to the show. Um, yes, it's nice to see you again. It's been a few weeks, a month actually, because as you know, recently I started streaming monthly on every channel that I run, which is four in total. There is this channel, the Slavic Languages Hub. There is a Germanic Languages Hub and Romance Languages Hub. And of course, there is the Ecolinguist channel where it all started. All the mutual intelligibility experiments started there. So I continue streaming there once a month. And I'm going to be streaming there next week. So if you're interested, just make sure that you follow that channel also. And there is a big announcement, everybody, because I'm starting another channel. And this channel is going to be for people who are interested in learning Polish. So I know that lots of you are following me because you are interested in learning Polish or practicing Polish. So I decided to create a new channel for that. And this channel is going to be called, it already exists, and it's going to be called Polish Language Hub. Surprise. And we're going to be doing some live streaming there. And I'm also going to do more of the video game streaming and the episodes that I did here. I was kind of testing the waters here, and I was just checking if you're gonna like it. The Sims 4 learning Polish in a live simulator. So if you're into this kind of stuff and you want to have more of comprehensible input in Polish, you're going to find it there on the Polish Languages Hub. And as you see, this channel is completely empty. It doesn't have any subscribers yet. I literally started it today. So if you go there and subscribe, that would give me an idea of how many of you are actually interested in that channel. And that will let me know that it's worth doing it and compartmentalizing all the projects that I'm currently involved into different channels, basically. Yes. So that's going to be happening. Maybe next week I will be posting something there on the Polish Language Hub. But today it's all about Slavic languages, all Slavic languages. So if you're interested in that, just stay tuned. We're going to have some language challenges, hopefully. Yeah, I'm going to test something today. If there is no callers today, we still will be able to do challenges because I figured out a way to do it. Last week when we were doing the Romance languages stream, we used some interesting tools to run the challenges, so we might be able to do it today as well. So if you want to participate, you know what you need to do. You need to be registered. The registration link is in the description below. You need to fill in the form to get the instructions on how to join me into the software that I'm using for streaming. If you participated in the show before, you don't have to register again. You may just go to your inbox and find the email that was automatically sent to you when you registered the first time, and the link is still the same. The link is different though for different channels. So if you participated in the Ecolinguist live stream, the link for this show is different. So just make sure that you're using the right one. Yes. So those were the announcements. And I'm ready to take your calls, But guys, before calling in, think about what do you want to bring into the show. Maybe you want to prepare some words to describe in your language for me to guess or for other guests to guess. Or maybe you just want to present a sentence in your language. So think about that ahead of time. I have some challenges prepared when it comes to Polish, but we never know who's going to call, so it's good to have a variety of different ideas ready to go. Yeah, so think about it. Think before you call in. So you're ready, and we can kind of move on into the challenges instead of wasting time figuring it out. Dobry wieczór, dobry dzień, cześć, всем привет, dobry wieczór, wiele pozdrawów wszystkim. What language is this? Oh no, what did I mess up? Pozdrowienia, tak? Pozdrowienia. Is this wszystkim pozdrawów? Is this the inter-Slavic language? Possibly. By the way, next week for the for the Ecolinguist channel, we are going to have the interlingua speaker. It's a constructed language that speakers of Romance languages are supposed to be able to understand without prior learning. So that's going to be happening next week. So if you're interested in the constructed languages, that show might interest you. Oh, of course it's Sorbian. Sorry. So, Charto. Yeah, last week we had a Sorbian speaker on the show. I'm not sure if it was you, Charto, because I don't remember your nickname. But yes, thank you for that. Yeah. So if you missed last month's episode, check it out because we did Sorbian and Czech. The time flies so fast. It's been a month already. It's crazy, guys. Yeah, I've got so many plans and projects for this year, and there's just not enough time for everything. It's really crazy. Yes, it was me. So Charto, thank you very much for participating last time. Yeah, so let me see who's calling in. I will give a chance for other people to call in also. So people who are on the line, just be patient. Okay. Yes, so I think I will start adding people. Let's start with Kaloyan. Kal, I'm going to add you now, so get ready. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Zdrasti.
Zdrasty, Norbert.
Zdrasti, yes. So welcome back to the show, Kal. So tell us, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak? I think most people remember you from previous shows, but just to remind everybody, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
Yeah, of course. So right now I'm actually calling from my home city in Bulgaria. I'm doing my internship semester here instead of in the Netherlands because it just so happened that a Bulgarian company accepted me for it. So here I am. And in terms of languages, my native one is Bulgarian, obviously. and I speak English, French, and Dutch, which I've made a significant progress with in the past few months because of working at a store for like 4 months or so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, that's great. So Bulgarian. Um, so have you thought about any particular challenges that you would like to participate in today, or run some challenges for us?
Um, I'm not sure if the format of the stream has changed much since the last time I was a participant, but if any challenges come up, I'd be happy to participate. I can prepare some words ahead of time if that's fine.
So you can think about it, you can think about it, maybe some Bulgarian words to describe or a Bulgarian sentence to do. But
Right.
but I also have something else prepared. So we might add one more person or even two more people if they're going to call, if this many people are going to call, and then I will be able to run some challenges also because I've prepared some stuff. Good, but so you've been staying in Bulgaria now. How long ago did you come back to Bulgaria?
About a month ago.
About a month ago, yes. Do you miss the Netherlands a little bit?
Not so much the country, but the colleagues I made in the past semester.
Hmm.
It just so happened that I clicked with them the best out of any class at university I've ever been in. So yeah, it was kind of bittersweet for us to say goodbye at the end of last semester, but you know,
Hmm.
since all of us now have now are at their own respective internships, we kind of had to part ways in a way. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So when you were in the Netherlands, what were you missing the most from Bulgaria? Then, like, ever since you came back, now you can enjoy it because you are there. So what was it?
Well, mainly the cuisine is I miss the
Hmm.
most because there are some certain dishes that you just cannot get an analog of them in the Netherlands. I think the closest one would be, the type of yogurt we have. Like the closest one in Dutch stores would be Greek yogurt, which,
Hmm.
to be honest,
Hmm.
is not the same. So that's one thing I missed. But of course, I also miss my family a bit because it's always nice to have a family around and to be with family and whatnot. But most importantly of all, I miss the climate because my city is much sunnier than Eindhoven in the
Hmm.
Netherlands.
Hmm. Hmm.
I've gotten gotten so accustomed to not having to carry an umbrella every time having to go out here. It's just the best.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the weather in Bulgaria must be really nice. I mean, this is a holiday destination for lots of people in Europe. Everybody goes to
Yeah,
Bulgaria to catch the sunshine.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's great. That's good to hear. Um, so actually, I see there is one more person calling in, so I'm going to add him. Victor, Victor. So I'm going to add you now into the stream. Hopefully it's gonna work. Oh, it didn't work. Let me just change this. Hello, Victor. I can't hear you for some reason. No, no, I can't hear you. Are you muted maybe? Did you mute yourself?
Hmm.
No. No, not at all. We can't hear you. Victor, maybe just try to connect again, okay? Just disconnect and use the same link to connect back with us. Okay, so we've got one more person calling in. Mm, okay, Victor is calling back. Okay, so let's bring you back, Victor.
Hello, do you
Hello,
hear me?
Yes. Now we can
Yes.
hear you.
It's great.
So
Hello, guys.
Victor, maybe let's start with your introductions. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What languages do you speak? Where are you calling from?
Okay. I'm calling from Russia. My name is Victor. I'm 36 years old. I'm staying at my working place. I live in Volgodonsk city. It locates in the southern part of Russian Federation.
Yes, and what languages do you speak?
My native language is Russian, and I also speak English language.
English. So you don't speak any other Slavic language, or?
I can speak a little bit Polish language. I don't speak very well, but it is very easy to understand this language for me.
Okay, that's good. And so, what's your experience with mutual intelligibility between Slavic languages? Like, have you watched any of my videos before? Maybe you've
Yes,
got your personal experiences.
I'm your subscriber about 2 years.
Nice, thank you.
And I have the experience with communication with people from Poland.
So you did talk to people. So you would use Russian and they would respond to you in Polish, or you try to speak to them in Polish also?
I tried a little to speak Polish, but mostly I used English language.
Okay, I see. That's good. So since you've been exposed to Polish and you've been studying Polish, I think that the challenge for today, we could do some Czech, because I've prepared some Czech sentences.
Okay.
So we can do that. Unless there is a Czech person that wants to call in and give us some challenges, you guys are welcome to do that. Meanwhile, Victor, maybe have you prepared any challenges for us today? Maybe something in
Yes,
Russian?
I have prepared some words in Russian language to challenge you. This is my first experience, and I would like to try it.
Okay. So we're going to do that maybe in a moment. Let's start with the Czech one, because this is going to be an interesting twist, because I actually have some words, some sentences prepared. So first, you guys going to hear a sentence in Czech, and I would like you to try to translate it as well as possible, and maybe also identify what word it describes, this one sentence. First, you're going to hear it, and we're going to see how much you're able to understand from hearing it. Yeah, I think you should be able to hear that. Let's do this.
Místo, kde se přijímají a distribuují dopisy, balíky a další poštovní zásilky.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Did you get anything at all?
I only got the first word, which I think is city or town, but
Yes.
everything after that was just a jumble of syllables.
Victor?
I have understanding that it's about town and about post.
Okay,
Post
so
or mail service.
okay. So let's try again. Let's listen to this.
Místo, kde se přijímají a distribuují dopisy, balíky a další poštovní zásilky.
Okay.
This is. I get that is not. The sentence is not about city. This is about place. I think
Yeah.
it's about post office. Distribute. This is where any person can send the mail or any text message using the paper or a pen tool.
I mean,
I
yeah,
think it's
that's the post office. Yeah, okay, that's your guess. And Carl, do you have any guesses, or did you
Yeah.
understand anything?
After hearing Victor's description, it now makes much more sense to me that it's a place rather than a city. And I heard the word distribuje much more clearly in the second time than the first time. For some reason, the first time it meshed together with the surrounding words and it didn't make sense for me at all. But now it makes sense that it's a place that does something with letters and distributes them. That's what I heard the second time. So yeah, I would also say that it's a post office.
It's a post office. Yes.
the first. I thought about the city because of I heard miasto or misto. It sounds like Polish miasto or Czech miesto.
Yes.
And that's why I thought about city.
Okay. So the correct answer is it is post office. Yes. Or actually, you can't say it. Sorry. So it's pošta in Czech. Let's listen to it again.
Pošta, místo, kde se přijímají a distribuují dopisy, balíky a další poštovní zásilky.
Right?
When you see it written, it makes so much more sense. Like when I see each word written out, yeah, it makes very much
Yes,
sense that it was a post office.
It is very easy to read the text, actually.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So how would you translate that into your languages then? Like this sentence. First of all, like, do you understand every word in it?
I think I do. Victor, do you want to start?
Почта – это место, где принимаются или отправляются письма и посылки. Я не все. I don't understand anything, but I tried
Not everything. Yeah. So so it's a place where letters, packages, and other postal items are received and distributed. So letters, packages, and other postal items. And další poštovní zásilky. Zásilky, maybe przesyłki, or yeah, this is where we missing the real Czech person that would tell us what it actually means, because we are dealing here with AI translation. So yeah, but let's say like just items, postal items.
Yeah.
So how would you translate that? So first of all, how is post office in Russian?
Почта. Почтовое отделение.
In Polish, it's poczta, and in Bulgarian, it's
Pošta.
pošta. So it's similar to the Czech word. And how would that be in Bulgarian? Maybe let's translate that into Bulgarian.
I'll try to translate it to the best of my ability. Поща, място, където се приемат и изпращат писма, пакети и други пощенски артикули.
Pakiety to będzie po polsku paczki.
Paczki. Tak, paczki. Okay, so translate that into Russian now.
Почта – это место, где принимаются и отправляются письма и посылки. Или пересылаются дальше посылки.
I po polsku poczta, miejsce, gdzie przyjmuje się i dystrybuuje listy, paczki i inne artykuły pocztowe albo przesyłki pocztowe. Okay, so that's good. So you see, we were able to have a Czech challenge without a Czech person. So I'm happy about that. And here we have a sentence in Upper Sorbian. Post miestno gdzieś przyjmuje a o nie. Przyjmuje a rozdzieluje listy pakciki a drugie postowe posyłki. Okay, so I just butchered Upper Sorbian. Sorry about that, but yeah, it's interesting to see how it's spelled. Yeah, so poczta, it was kind of easy, an easy challenge. So who wants to go next? Like maybe Victor, you could give us a challenge in Russian. So first of all, like, do you have a word that you would like to describe to us? Right?
Yes, I
So
prepared.
great. So just don't say the word. Just give us the hints, and we will try to identify the concept you're describing.
I get it.
Okay.
Это следующее слово. Это объект, это предмет. Это не живое существо, это предмет. Этот предмет маленького размера. Этот предмет используется для того, чтобы расслабиться. Он сделан из 3 компонентов, этот предмет. Первое – бумага. Второе – фильтр. Третье – табак. Есть какие-то варианты?
Karl, masz jakieś pomysły?
За сега не.
Jeszcze nie masz. Czyli to jest. Czy możesz powtórzyć, Wiktor? Czy możesz powtórzyć jeszcze raz wskazówki?
Это слово означает предмет. Этот предмет маленького размера. Этот предмет состоит из 3 элементов. Первое – это бумага. Второе – это фильтр. Третье – это табак. Этот предмет используется для того, чтобы расслабиться, снять стресс. Его, для того, чтобы использовать этот предмет, используют еще огонь.
Wszystko jasne. Kal, czy chcesz może spróbować przetłumaczyć na bułgarski wszystkie wskazówki? Co zrozumiałeś?
От това, което чух, разбрах, че е предмет, който е съставен от 3 елемента.
Да.
От хартия, от някакво растение и третото не го разбрах, но това до някъде ме довежда до това да не е цигара.
Da.
To jest twoja odpowiedź, tak? Ja zrozumiałem, że to jest właśnie mały przedmiot, który składa się z 3 elementów, z bibułki, z filtra i z tabaki. I ludzie potrzebują ognia, żeby z tego korzystać, plus jest to sposób na złagodzenie stresu. Więc myślę, że po polsku to będzie papieros.
Все верно.
Po bułgarsku.
Ако говорим за същото нещо, цигара.
Cygara. I po rosyjsku jak to będzie?
Сигарета.
Cigareta. So basically a cigarette, right?
Cigarette.
In English
That's
it would be a
right.
cigarette, and yes, that's interesting because in Bulgarian it sounds like a cigar. Cygaro in Polish. It's like a Cuban cigar, kubańskie cygaro.
Yeah, we have a different word for cigar than a cigarette. For cigar we use pura.
Pura, okay. What about Russian? Do you distinguish?
Сигара. Большая – это сигара кубинская, но маленькая, соответственно, сигарета.
Cigareta. Okay. That's good. That was a good one. So we got that. And I saw that someone was trying to call.
For some reason, it took me a while to get that one.
Yeah, I mean the first time I missed so much for some reason, but when I heard it for the second time, I got most of it basically. Okay. So what about the Bulgarian challenge now? Maybe Karl, you have a word that you would like to describe.
Yeah, I actually do have one. Oh, whoops, I accidentally kicked something. One sec. Okay, I'll switch to Bulgarian now and I'll describe the word I have prepared.
Okay.
Така, думата, която съм приготвил е малък предмет. Използва се в кухнята и с него можем да ядем голям брой храни. Служим си с този предмет да улесним приема на храна в нашите тела. Той е направен от метал, понякога от пластмаса или дърво. Има 3 върха най-често и също така се среща в няколко размера за десерти, за главни ястия и за салати.
Я, кажется, понял, что это такое.
Кажете.
Ciekawe.
Мне кажется, я понял.
Może powiedz po rosyjsku, co zrozumiałeś, które wskazówki zrozumiałeś, przetłumacz na rosyjski.
Но я не буду называть само слово, я буду говорить то, что я понял. Первое – это предмет. Предмет маленький.
Да.
Мы его используем на кухне.
Да.
Мы используем его для еды. Это столовый прибор. Как я понял, в этом предмете этот предмет может быть сделан из металла, из дерева, либо из пластика. И у него 3 зуба, получается, есть у этого предмета. Мы его используем для салатов, для десертов и для каких-то еще блюд. То есть там, где нужно им протыкать. Вот. Если описание правильное, то я могу назвать слово.
Dobra, to zaczniemy ode mnie, bo ja najmniej zrozumiałem, ale potem jak Wiktor przetłumaczył na rosyjski, to myślę, że to jest widelec, czyli po polsku widelec, po angielsku fork. Wiktor?
Вилка.
I to po angielsku?
Fork.
Aha. I Karl? Jaka jest prawidłowa odpowiedź?
Двамата сте прави. Думата, която търсех е вилица. Да. Поздравления.
Wilica to znaczy fork, tak?
Yes.
So we got this. So to jest widelec po polsku, widelec. Good, but for a moment I thought it was a knife.
In your respective languages.
Exactly, I wanted to ask about that. A pitchfork used in the farm. That's great. So in Polish, the one that you use on the farm, the pitchfork is widły. Widły.
Okay.
And in Russian, how would that be?
Вилы.
Really? And in Bulgarian?
Вила.
Vila. Okay, so it's a variation of that word for a fork, you'd say?
Well, villa is, like you said, it's the tool we use at the farm, and vilica is the utensil that we use in the kitchen.
Yes, but actually what's interesting in Polish widły is a plural, always plural. It's plurale tantum. So widły są ostre, right? So we don't really use it as singular. It's like scissors
That's
in English,
interesting.
right? Scissors. Yeah. What about
Острые.
Yeah, we only have that for the word for scissors, I think, when it comes to tools in Bulgarian. For pitchfork, we always use the singular.
yes? What about Russian? Is it
А,
singular or
ну,
plural?
Мы сейчас говорим про ножницы, получается, да?
We're talking about the vidły, pitchfork.
Про большой инструмент, получается, мы его используем на ферме, то есть так же, как было сказано, они острые, но вилы обычно имеют 4 зуба. 4.
4 zęby.
Вот. И вилка точно так же может иметь 4 зуба. Вот. А если, если имеется в виду вилка с 3 зубами, то есть с 3 зубами, которые мы используем на кухне, чтобы есть, обычно эта вилка, она больше, чем обычная стандартная вилка, которую мы кушаем. И эта вилка используется для подачи блюда, для подачи мяса.
Yeah, what he said, we also use the word villa to mean that type of utensil that we use for meat, for poking meat.
Yes,
Yeah.
for meat.
Okay, yes, that's very specialized. I'm not even sure how it's called in Polish because I don't really cook that often. But in Upper Serbian, kjeździ rieka to też widliczki. Kjeździ rieka. Do you guys understand this?
I think he just said that the word is vidlichki, but that the word that they use to refer to this is vidlichki, I think.
Oh,
The beginning part of the
reka
sentence
is the
was
word.
to
Reka is the word. Yes.
clarify, yeah.
So vidliczki, we don't know which one is it. Is it the pitchfork or is it the word that we just?
It sounds like reka in Russian or reoka in Polish language, I think.
Rieka, as in to call something. Okay, yeah, now it makes sense.
Reka, yeah. Yeah, we do have the word rzec or rzekać, which means make us just to say something basically, but it sounds a little bit archaic, so we would use it maybe in literature. Or telling
We have the
stories.
same.
Same for us.
Oh, really? So you do have that word. It's just not commonly used in like a daily conversation, but we do have it. Okay, good. So we've got this. So apparently in Upper Serbian it's used as a everyday word. So it survived because I think it's a very old word, very old Slavic word, and we also have the word rzecz.
Speaking.
Karl, do you know what rzecz is? How does it
Sounds like speech to me.
Speech, yes. In the Russian, the same word is речь.
So in Polish, rzecz, it means a thing. A thing.
Oh, okay.
So but rzec, it's the verb to say something, right? And rzecz is a thing. So something that you're talking about.
Okay.
Yes, as
That's interesting.
Andrzej says, Rzeczpospolita, it's Respublika, republic, like Polish republic, Rzeczpospolita.
Yeah, it must be a West Slavic thing because in Bulgarian this means speech, like the noun speech, and it doesn't mean thing.
In Russian language, we don't have the verb form for this word. We have the thing, речь, but we don't have the verb form.
I see. Good. So I think we can move on to another challenge. Maybe Czech again. Oh, speaking of Czech, in Czech we use the verb říkat. Okay, so it's also very common. Okay, so let's see. Yes, so you guys, if you're ready, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this Czech sentence. This sentence describes something again. So think of what this sentence describes.
Místo, kde se konají živé představení a divadelní produkce.
Okay.
Okay.
One more time.
Místo, kde se konají živé představení a divadelní produkce.
Yep.
Do you have any ideas, guys?
Это говорится про какое-то место. I'm sorry. It's talking about something place and about some production.
Okay. But Cole, what would you say? But you can actually describe those things in Bulgarian, like whatever you understand. That would be interesting.
Okay. От този път го разбрах напълно. Става дума за място, където се изнасят живи продукции и представления.
Okay. Victor, does it help you at all?
Ну, я на самом деле я не все понял, к сожалению. Я понял то, что говорится про место и про какую-то продукцию. Но там я услышал похожее слово «живо», то есть либо что это может означать именно в контексте чешского языка. То есть про что-то живое или продукция из чего-то живого. Я не все понял на самом деле.
So let's listen to it one more time and then we can present the answers.
Místo, kde se konají živé představení a divadelní produkce.
Okay. So let's present it then. Or do you, yeah. So first, what we're gonna do, let's just present what you understood, yes. And then we're going to have a look at the spelling of it. So,
My guess would be, do we present them in English or in our respective languages?
In English, but also mention the Bulgarian word.
So my guess would be theater, which in Bulgarian would be teatr.
Okay, and Victor, what would be your guess? What was your guess?
Actually, I didn't think about theater. Firstly, I thought about shop.
A shop. Okay, so it would be magazine in Russian.
In Russian magazine and in Polish sklep.
In Polish sklep. Okay, so this time Karl was right.
Nice.
So it was theater. Theater. Let's listen to it again.
Divadlo, místo, kde se konají živé představení a divadelní produkce.
Yes, in Polish it would be teatr. Teatr. Miejsce, w którym odbywają się występy na żywo i produkcje teatralne. Okay. What about Bulgarian? How would you translate that into Bulgarian?
Right, so the Bulgarian translation would be театър, място, където се изнасят представления на живо и театрални продукции.
In Russian, how would that be?
Театр – это место, где происходит живое представление, а также театральная продукция.
Teatralne produkcje. Okay, so what's interesting about this is we have the word konai. I'm not sure, sekonai. I'm not sure what it means, but we have a word wykonywać.
I know.
To
It's
perform.
is going the performing.
Performing. That's what I thought, because in Polish we have the word wykonywać. Się wykonuje, which means to perform, like it's performed. Do you have words like that in Bulgarian?
I don't think so, but from the context, I could infer that it means to perform something or to to demonstrate something. I guess would be a distant tertiary meaning of the word. So yeah.
Okay.
Maybe in Polish language, sekonai means się robi.
Się robi. Robi się przedstawienia na żywo. To ma sens. You can say that. But when we talk about przedstawienia, performances, or we would use wykonuje się. It's basically the same. It's just in the context of theater or performative arts, like we would use wykonywać, or wykonanie is performance, like świetne wykonanie, great performance. Okay. And what's funny in yes, actually Pavel made that comment here that divak is a spectator in Czech. Divak goes to divadlo, and dziwak is a weirdo in Polish. So for us, divadlo, Polish word dziwadło is just something weird, super weird, like a place for weird people, maybe, or something like that. So this.
Yeah, we
is
also
one
have
of
the
those
word divak, which means like a crazy person in Bulgarian. So I can see that.
Yes,
I can see the
yes.
connection.
In Russian, we have странный, that means weird.
Stranny, okay, stranny, okay. So it's a bit different approach to that word, but that's good. So that's divadlo in Czech, teatr in Polish. Good. So what we can do another round of Russian and Bulgarian challenges then. If Victor, do you have another word to describe?
Yes. I have another word. Следующее слово означает предмет. Этот предмет может быть маленьких, может быть средних размеров. Этот предмет может быть сделан из металла, может быть сделан из дерева, может сделан из пластика. Этот предмет на себе имеет цифры, а также метки. Этот предмет мы используем при черчении, а также при измерении. Варианты какие-то, вопросы?
Kal, ty pierwszy. Masz jakieś pytania dodatkowe?
Първоначално имах, но като помислих малко върху това, което Виктор каза, мисля, че знам за какво става дума. Става дума за предмет, който може да е в няколко размера, малък или среден размер. Също може да е съставен да е направен от дърво, пластмаса или метал, и който предимно се използва в чертежи и други izmerwatelne zadачи.
Да.
Aha, dobrze. Ja mam pytanie do Wiktora w takim razie. W jakich sytuacjach używa się tego przedmiotu?
В каких ситуациях используется? Например, в школе на уроках геометрии может использоваться этот предмет. В университете, когда мы что-то чертим, изображаем на уроках инженерной графики, в технических дисциплинах. Вот. Также при какой-то ручной работе, при изготовлении чего-либо, мы можем использовать этот предмет для измерения того или иного объекта.
Dobrze, to ja już wiem, co to jest. To zaczniemy w takim razie od Kala. Kal, powiedz, co ty myślisz, że to jest?
Според мен думата е линия.
Да.
Linia. Po polsku myślę, że to jest linijka. Linijka, czyli ruler. I think to measure length. Właśnie,
Yep.
dokładnie. Super, bardzo dobrze. Więc jeszcze raz, po polsku to będzie linijka, po bułgarsku
Linia.
i po rosyjsku
Линейка.
linijka. Tak, okej, bardzo dobrze. Tak, właśnie, zabrakło. So I was missing that context where it was used, because basically I knew what it was after hearing all the hints that you gave, but I was missing that one bit where it was used, so it really helped me there. Good. Bardzo dobrze. Let's see if there is there are any comments about it. In Upper Sorbian it's lineal, or a bit old-fashioned prawidło. Prawidło. Okay. And in Ukrainian it's linijka. Linijka. And actually that's the Polish spelling, linijka, just so we can see that.
What I noticed is that
Lol.
in the Western and Eastern Slavic languages that you guys use the diminutive form of the word, whereas we don't. So
What?
that
Yeah.
was
So why is that a thing? Like Bulgarians don't like using the diminutive forms of words, or like?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say so. It's that for certain words, the regular form became the default one after a while. We do have diminutive forms for a lot of stuff. Like, for example, if you want to say a little puppy, the regular word for that, the regular word for the animal is kuche, for dog. But if you want to say puppy, you say kuchence, which means little puppy. And same thing for ruler. If you want to say a little ruler, you would say linijka, the same as in Polish and Ukrainian. But the regular word for ruler in Bulgarian is linia.
So how do you differentiate between ruler and line in Bulgarian?
That's the thing. We don't. It's the same word for us.
You see, so that's interesting, because in Polish,
Though
linia
I
would
should
be a
probably
line.
mention that for bigger sized rulers or measuring devices, we tend to use the word for meter, meter. So it's only in certain contexts, though. It's not like across the board type thing. So
Interesting. In Czech, it's prawitko, which is kind of similar to the Upper Sorbian prawidło, right? It's kind of related there. Okay, that's good.
It sounds similar in Russian. Исправлять, править.
Pravić, which means
I forgot how to say it in English. To make the corrections. Править, исправлять. To make the corrections.
in Polish we have the word poprawić, poprawiać, which means to make corrections, to correct something. And in Bulgarian,
poprawiam.
it's to make correction. Poprawiam, is it an infinitive form, or is it the first?
We don't really have
singular?
infinitives. We tend to use the first person singular as infinitives here. So
Yeah. I just
poprawiam.
remembered. Yeah. So it's a little bit like maybe in Serbian or Croatian. There is this
A
very
bit.
interesting.
Though Serbian is a bit of an outlier because Serbian does have infinitives, but they tend to use the first person singular in certain contexts to infer a definitive. I guess I inferred this from a video I watched recently from another language YouTuber I follow, Langfocus. He recently made a video on Bulgarian, and he mentioned that Serbian had this thing where it still does have infinitives, but like Bulgarian, it uses the first person singular sometimes. So that's where I know this. I didn't actually know this fact about Serbian. So
It is very funny, I think.
Okay, so how would you
yeah, we
say?
don't even. That's the thing when you don't have noun cases, you just the language adapts. So
Uh-huh. So let's do a comparison here. So maybe how would you say in Bulgarian and Russian, I like correcting, or I like to, in English, you don't use infinitive there. I like correcting other people, but in Polish that would be an infinitive. So I would say lubię poprawiać innych ludzi. And in
Я
Russian,
люблю,
how would that be?
я люблю поправлять других людей. Или более корректная форма, я люблю исправлять. Хотя нет, я люблю поправлять других людей.
And Bulgarian?
обичам да поправям други хора.
You see?
Yeah, we don't have infinitives. So.
You don't have infinitives. That was just a test, I just wanted to to see how it works.
No matter how many tests you run, you always have the same outcome.
Yes, it's very consistent.
The one addendum I should make, though, if you want to make a proper infinitive out of a verb, you add the word da, which in the context of an infinitive does not mean yes, but it means to do something. So, like similar in English, like to be, to jump, to do something. The word da means has the same role in Bulgarian. So if you want to say like...
It has the same construction like in Germanic languages. To do, to place, to correct, in
Exactly,
infinitive
yeah.
form.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's not very common in Slavic languages. I think maybe Serbian and Croatian, because I'm not very familiar with those. But I did some research, and I think they did have that weird form also.
As far as I'm aware, the only two Slavic languages to use it across the entire language itself would be Bulgarian and also Macedonian. Every other Slavic language has infinitives. It's just that we were the outliers for some reason.
Okay, so I see we've got some more examples of the sentence lubię poprawiać innych ludzi. In Czech it would be ja rád opravuji jiní lidi. And in Upper Serbian mám rád druhým ľuďom popraviať. Wow, this sounds like something between Czech and Polish, because it's a dialect continuum, so we can see that clearly here, because
Yep.
we can recognize some cognates from Czech, like mám rád, já rád, and then poprawiać, which sounds like Polish, poprawiać, and oprawuj in Czech. Also kind of there with the cognate.
Czech one is interesting because when you change the prefix in the Bulgarian word from po to o, just o, it means to fix something, like to fix it as in like repair something.
I get that in Czech language, in this sentence, the word to correct doesn't have infinitive form. That's right?
Again, sorry.
I get that in the sentence, I like to correct any people. The word to correct doesn't have infinitive form. Opravuję.
Oprawuj.
How I get it, that it means I am correcting any people, opravuję, or not. I don't know Czech language very well. That's why I'm asking about it.
Yes.
I just saw a comment in the chat. the user GVA actually posted the more correct version of the sentence I said. So
Okay, so we're going to have a look at it in a second. Let's just finish
Okay.
that thought with the infinitive. I think it is an infinitive because I see that I quickly just had a look at the Wikipedia, and their infinitives end with E, basically.
Infinitive form.
Yeah, infinitives. Yes, but we would need a Czech person to confirm that. Yes, and also I wanted to mention that when we changed the prefix of the verb poprawiać to oprawiać, it means to frame, oprawiać, to frame, for example, a picture, you know, oprawiać książkę. Also, you could just put a book into like this nice cover, or also you could oprawiać mięso, which is to cut the meat in a certain way.
Interesting.
And in Russian language, to frame will be обрамлять. Обрамлять.
Obramlać. And in Bulgarian, to put something in a frame is...
For that one, I'm not entirely sure what the word is. I can think of two examples. One would be ramkiram, which literally means to frame something, but the other one is a construction. Postawiam framka, literally to put something inside of a frame.
To put in frame.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another thing with prefixes, right, in Slavic languages, that when you're actually learning another Slavic language, this is kind of a nightmare because you just see a very similar verb with the prefix that you are accustomed to, but it just means something different. So it's kind of difficult to use sometimes. But in Czech, actually, thank you for this comment. You could say miluju opravat jiný lidi, but it's love not to like with an infinitive. What? I'm not sure if I got that.
I think he meant that miluju means love, not like.
Miluju, yes.
Miluju, the first person, the present.
So opravat, it's the infinitive clearly. So maybe mam rád. You know, actually, 2 years ago I did this Czech lessons with Vít on my channel, and he was explaining that to me. Now I remember that he was explaining that to me, but I forgot the details. So I wish maybe El Jupiterito, if you could just confirm if you used the infinitive in that sentence that you gave us about liking. I like to correct other people. Okay, let's see what he says. Oh, Lena, rád opravuji, miluju opravat. Okay, so there is something going on there, clearly, with the structure. Okay, good. Guys, do you have any comments to this? Any more comments?
Not really, other than I really need to read more books to properly translate sentences in Bulgarian, because I realized I made one mistake that...
So what was that mistake? Yeah.
on.
So tell us what was the mistake that you made?
Well, technically it would still be correct, but it would matter in what context you say it. That sentence where we had to translate, it's basically that comment on screen. If you want to say it in a general sense, like without any context or like what the topic of the conversation is, it would be like what GVA said. Обичам да поправям хората, like the people in general, not just other people, like specific people. So yeah, that one would be the more correct one in the sentence we were comparing.
Lubię
So
poprawiać
it's
innych
more
ludzi.
different than
So,
Polish and Russian.
the correction here is about using the innych ludzi part, the other people. I like correcting other people. This is an English sentence, and maybe we just translate that word by word. Which doesn't
I accidentally
sound...
translated it word by word instead of like properly, if that makes any sense.
Lubię
You could
poprawiać
omit the word
innych
drugi.
ludzi.
You could 100% omit the word drugi in the Bulgarian sentence. It would not be incorrect if you say it, but it's technically more correct if you don't use the word in that particular sentence, I think.
But in English, you could also say, I like correcting people. And it also makes sense.
It's basically something like that, but in Bulgarian. I just wanted to point that out in case people watch this after the stream and comment about that or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. And of course, Eliu Piterito just confirmed that oprawować. Yeah, that's a completely different topic, the aspects, the verbal aspects. So we're not going to get into this just now, but yeah, so now it would be a turn for another maybe Czech challenge. Let me see.
Maybe we have have to do the challenge in Bulgarian language.
Oh, have we missed that? Okay, let's do the Bulgarian one. If Carl, if you have an idea.
I think I might have something. I didn't really prepare a second word ahead of time this time, so I'm just going off with something off the top of my head this time around. Yeah, I have something. Okay. Така, втората ми дума не е предмет, но е нещо. Конкретно нещо, което съществува. Не е абстракция, а е конкретика, конкретно нещо. Тази дума е част от състава на континентална маса. Тоест, първо имаш континента и тази дума е една част от него. Служи като гранична ивица между континента и водни съдове, като океани, морета и други подобни. В някои случаи тази дума може да се срещне в ръбест вариант или плавен, т.е. без никакви ивици. За пример мога да дам в Намибия, в държавата Намибия в Африка. Тази дума описва нещо, което е характерно за този край. Друг пример давам с Австралия, плажната ивица Бондай. Това е също вид на тази дума, която описвам. Ако имате въпроси, сега е момента.
Виктор, masz jakieś pytania?
Так, из того, что сказано было, я понял, что это не предмет, это, но это то, что это, но это не абстракция, но это то, что конкретно существует. И было сказано что-то про воду, про океаны. Я так, хотелось бы уточнить. это что-то живое или неживое?
Не, това не е живо нещо, това е... А, ще дам една улика. Това е граничната ивица между континентална маса и вода.
Ага. То есть это то, что это получается находится на границе между водой и, и получается и землей, и, ну, то есть какой-то поверхностью типа континента или островом, да?
Да,
Это получается, это какое-то место, то есть какая-то зона, территория, то есть
да.
ну, это описывается. Побережье, пляж.
Ja jeszcze mam pytanie jedno. Czy możesz powtórzyć tą wskazówkę o Namibii? Dlaczego wspomniałeś o Namibii?
Тук трябва да се поправя. Намибия не беше добър пример за думата, който дадох. По-добър пример би бил...
Про Австралию говорилось.
Австралия może bardziej.
По-добър пример би бил първо плажната ивица Бондай в Австралия. Това е един добър пример. И друг добър пример би бил река Нил в Египет. Това пак е вид от думата, която търся.
Dobrze.
Само, че е между река и държава, а не е между континент и вода. И океан.
Dobrze. Czy w tym miejscu mieszkają jakieś stworzenia albo ludzie?
Не, това не е конкретно място, където... Всъщност, тук си прав. Технически има хора, които живеят на това нещо, обаче самото нещо не е град, не е място, не е обитаемо място.
Dobra, myślę, że już mam pomysł.
То есть там никто не живет.
Wiktor, masz pomysł? Masz jakiś typ?
Затрудняюсь на самом деле.
Ale zaprezentuj to, co pomyślałeś na początku. Jaki miałeś typ?
Ну, я почему-то думаю про пляж или про побережье, то есть место, которое вот между вот твердой поверхностью и между водой. Вот что-то описывается. Это как я понял.
Dobrze.
Вот.
I ja myślę, że chodzi o, że to słowo to rafa koralowa. Rafa koralowa. Coral reef.
Риф
Po
коралловый.
angielsku, tak. Wiktor, ty mówisz, że to jest albo plaża, which is a beach, or a shore, or a coast, right?
Yes.
Coastline. So, Karl, jaka jest prawidłowa odpowiedź?
Victor was actually more correct in his assumption. It's actually, the word I was looking for was shore, but I failed hard at describing it. I'm even seeing in the comments that GVA as a Bulgarian didn't get the word, so sorry about that. I have to read more, I guess.
No, it's I was thinking about the shore, but then you mentioned Egypt and you mentioned Australia, and they are known for their coral reefs. Like that, this is like one of the biggest tourist attraction in Egypt and
examples then,
Australia.
because those examples fit better for describing a beach rather than a shore. But I wanted to infer that beaches are a type of shore, but I didn't communicate that clearly. So sorry about that.
That's okay. So it's a shore or coast. What did you say? How would that be in Bulgarian then?
Бряг or крайбрежие.
In Polish it would be brzeg or wybrzeże.
In Russian it will be берег or побережье.
And in Upper Serbian it's pobrjuch. In Czech, pobrzeży. Yeah, and Mike, I think it's in pobrzeże. Tak? In Russian?
Побережье.
Pobережье. Bereg.
I thought I get that all the worlds have the same basic, but the different pronouncing.
Yes, he says clearly. So brzeg. Brzeg could also be brzeg stołu, for example, like the edge of the table. Brzeg stołu. Krawędź stołu or brzeg. Okay. That's good. And someone here just requested, do you have a Croatian challenge? Some Croatian sentence would be awesome. So I just generated it through my challenge generator. By the way, I'm using an AI to generate this, like ChatGPT. So I just ask it to generate charades for Croatian, and it just did it. So I'm going to play it for you guys. Let me just pick one of the most interesting words here. Okay, let's try this one. So here we're going to have 3 different hints. Okay, so try to listen in.
Instrument muzyczny.
Nie! To jest po polsku. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna play you this one. Then I'm going to play you a different one. Okay. Let's see.
Aktywność kluczuje kretanie.
Uh-oh. I think Croatian doesn't really have
It's very difficult.
voice recognition software.
Yeah, I think we might want to go just with the sentence written out and us just translating it, because the Google text-to-speech voice for Croatian is just horrible.
Yes,
It's like the game A Broken Telephone.
Yeah, it's very broken. It's very broken in this case. So we're not gonna do the Croatian challenge then, because it just doesn't sound nice. And the reading, I would like to hear it. So maybe we're just going to go back to the Czech word list that I have here. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So let's listen to this one.
Hmyz s velkými a barevnými křídly, který se živí nektarem květin.
One more time.
Hmyz s velkými a barevnými křídly, který se živí nektarem květin.
I think I get it.
You got it.
This is about.
You can translate it into Russian.
Ну, здесь, скорее всего, говорится о насекомом, insect, который летает, имеет крылья и питается нектаром цветочным.
Okay. What about you, Carl? What did you get?
Both times I only understood that the word nectar and that it was related to a plant somehow. I didn't get any hints about it being an insect, so I don't know what to say as a guess in that case.
There's some insect that eats the juice from the flower.
Okay, so
But the thing is, there's a lot of insects that do that. So
exactly. So Victor, what's your guess?
I think it's maybe butterfly or bee.
Okay, so it's actually a butterfly. It's a butterfly. Yes, not which is motyl. Motyl. Let's actually listen to it again in Czech.
Motýl, hmyz s velkými a barevnými křídly, který se živí nektarem květin.
Okay, so let's try to translate that then. So maybe let's start with Karl, because Karl didn't get it. So maybe now when you see it written, would you be able to tell anything?
The thing is, even when I see it written, I don't know how to translate it because there are too many words that I don't know. They don't have
No, I can translate.
Okay.
The butterfly. This is the
Insect.
insect with big and colorful wings, which eats the juice. I don't know how to say it correctly in English. Juice of the flowers.
I think nectar. It would be in English. So, Karl, do you know?
Yeah, I think I do now. Yeah. In Bulgarian, that would be peperuda, насекомо с големи и цветни крила, което се храни с цветен нектар.
Okay, in Polish it's motyl, owad z wielkimi kolorowymi skrzydłami, który żywi się nektarem kwiatowym. And in Russian?
Бабочка – это насекомое с большими и цветными крыльями, которое питается нектаром цветов.
Okay.
I would like to do some remark. In Russian, motyl means the worm which we use for fishing.
That's motyl.
Мотыль in
Motyl.
Russian.
Motyl.
But the night butterfly in Russian will sound мотылек, night butterfly.
Interesting. Night butterfly in Polish would be ćma.
It sounds like Russian tьма, dark.
I think it might be related. Yes, ćma. And in Bulgarian, how would that be?
Night butterfly.
Yeah.
I think the closest word I can think of is molec, which actually means moth, but I'm not sure if it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's moth. So that's how it's spelled in Polish, ćma, by the way. And in Upper Sorbian, it's mietel, insekt z wulkimaj, a silnymaj grzidłomaj, kotraż sowot nektara kwiatów zażywia. Zadziwia. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But I, from what I remember, I think Upper Sorbian uses like letters that are used in Polish as well, like the z, j sounds. But I see the Czech rži here, and yeah. So I'm not an expert on Upper Sorbian, so I'm just doing my best here. And I'm sure the AI cannot read that yet.
I would like to make another remark. In Polish and in Russian language, for example, in Russian, река in Polish will be rzeka. Re changed to the zh in Polish language.
Rzeka. So if you know that, and you can kind of process it really quickly, maybe you can understand way more when learning Russian or Polish. Okay, so that was a good one. So we can do maybe one more challenge. Oh, but what's interesting is that Cvetok, is it Russian?
Yes, in Russian, цветок.
And Cvet?
Yes, it's color. Цвет.
Okay, that's interesting.
In Ukrainian, the color is kolor.
Color in Polish color, right? And in Bulgarian.
The word for color is cviat, but the word for flower is cvete.
Okay. And actually, kwiat is Polish word for a flower, kwiat. And we also have a word barva, which means color also. It's a synonym, basically. So in the sentence that we just had here in Czech, we did have barwnymi, which in Polish would be barwne, z barwnymi skrzydłami.
If I don't...
Now that I'm hearing this, we also have a synonym for this in Bulgarian that you just described in Polish. I cannot remember the singular form of it, but I can translate what it would mean in the sentence. Instead of saying цветни криле, which means colored wings, you would also say обагрени крила, which means like accented wings or something like that. It sounds similar to the word you just described in Polish. That's why
Barwa.
It sounds like Russian багровый, багряный. It's close to the red color.
Yeah, but in Bulgarian it just means that it's accented in any color. It doesn't matter if it's red or not. It could also mean a shade of a color as well.
Accented or high saturated color. That's right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a relationship to the word Farbe in German, barwa, farba. Maybe it's kind of related somehow, because in Polish farba, the word farba means a paint. Paint, and also I see from Anastasia in Ukrainian, farba is a coloring paint also. And we also have the word barwnik. Barwnik in Ukrainian, in Polish would be barwnik, which is something that dyes something else. Maybe barwnik is something that you would use in food to color it. Food coloring, barwnik, spożywczy, for example. Yeah, so it's interesting connection there. This is German and Polish. They are both Indo-European languages, so there must be some connection further down the language family tree.
I wonder
Yes.
just how many German loan words have entered Polish and are in use in like the common day-to-day language. I'm wondering what the ratio is.
Let's see. German words. No, that's not gonna be easy to find out. I thought maybe it would be easier. Like,
I just found
from what
the
I see,
Bulgarian
it
equivalent
says,
of the word barvnik that people are discussing in the comments.
well, in Wikipedia they say that Wielki Słownik Wyrazów Obcych PWN wymienia niemal 3000 słów zapożyczonych z języka niemieckiego, which is like this great dictionary of foreign words in Polish lists 3000 words coming from German. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting, but it's a more nuanced thing here, because they also say that quite often we kind of borrowed some words from other languages through German, so that's included in this number in a way. So maybe something was borrowed by Germans first, and then it entered Polish language through German. But it's the origin of the word is not German; it's from somewhere else.
Maybe the
Yeah.
first form was in a Latin language, and through the Germanic languages.
Branch. Yeah. So it's a bit complicated, but it's a good question, Karl.
Yeah, we also have a great deal of loanwords from Turkish and like French and Italian as well that we use in daily life. Like one slang form of the word window that we often tend to use is cam, which is similar to the Turkish word for glass, çam.
We have the same situation in Russian language. We have a lot of words which we have from Turkish languages or French language.
Yes, so there is lots of words like that, and actually, the mutual intelligibility phenomenon, it's also based on the common borrowed words. Lots of words from Latin that we can use, especially words that we use in the scientific fields. They often have Latin origin, so if you have been exposed to that, and then you can easily communicate with people. Yes. Okay. Good. So I think what we could do, just one more quick Czech challenge before we go, because we've been going for a while now, and it's gonna be time to finish soon. So I think we could do one more Czech challenge. Let's see.
Actually, the Czech language sounds very funny for Russian speakers.
Yes, for Polish speakers also, but for Polish speakers it mostly sounds like Czech uses lots of denominatives, like those words that children would use. So so it's funny because if you see I don't know, someone on TV, speaking like that, it's just kind of funny to see an adult speaking like a child. But I don't know, what about Russians? Like, how do Russians perceive Czech language?
I would maybe I will say some example. In Russian language, we have the word stewardessa. I don't know how it sounds in English language, and in Czech language it sounds letushka. And
Letushka.
yes, and it means the person who helps a passenger in aircraft, who does the flying more comfortable for passenger. And
Stewardess, yeah.
Stewardess, yes. And the form letushka, the ushka sounds like children speaking, or it doesn't sound seriously for Russian speaking.
Yes. So in Polish it would be stewardessa also, and in Bulgarian?
Stewardessa as well.
Okay.
In Russian, stewardessa too, or бортпроводник.
That's another word for stewardess.
Yes, this is more official form of stewardessa, бортпроводник, which we use in our documents I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain it correctly in English language.
That's okay.
It's official in official situations. We use it in TV or in other public situations.
Yeah, I don't think we distinguish it like this. Yeah, steward, yes, stewardessa. Yeah. What about the chat? Do people say anything? In Ukrainian, it's stewardessa, so maybe it's a bit different pronunciation. Some people call it also a flight attendant, which apparently sounds a bit more like American English. Okay, that's good. So, guys, if you actually are ready for another Czech challenge, let's do this. I'm going to play it right now. Let's listen.
Elektronické zařízení pro výběr hotovosti z bankovního účtu.
One more time.
Elektronické zařízení pro výběr hotovosti z bankovního účtu.
Okay.
Does it ring a bell?
This is about documents or the bank service. Some part of bank service, financial service. Maybe.
Karl, what about you? What did you gathered?
I got what it means, but I'm not sure if it refers to an ATM or a credit card, because I understood it as something that is used for handling bank transactions, but I'm not sure if it's referring to an ATM or a debit card or a credit card. That's the thing I'm missing.
Okay, let's listen to it one more time, and then you're going to present your final answers.
Elektronické zařízení pro výběr hotovosti z bankovního účtu.
Maybe it's about paper document which we have after some operation, some financial operation.
Okay, so you'd say a receipt?
Yes, I think so.
Which in Russian would be?
Check.
Okay, and Karl, what's your answer?
I'm still sticking with my guts. I think it's an ATM, which in Bulgarian is bankomat.
Bankomat, and bankomat is the right answer.
Yes.
Yes, so it's an ATM. So let's listen to it one more time.
Bankomat, elektronické zařízení pro výběr hotovosti z bankovního účtu.
And what does it mean, actually? How would you translate that into Bulgarian first, maybe?
Okay, I'll try and translate it to the best of my ability. Банкомат, електронно устройство за въвеждане банкомат, електронно устройство за въвеждане и управление на банкови данни.
Which in English would be?
An electronic device for entering and handling bank data or bank-related data or financial data.
So the English translation of this is an electronic device for withdrawing cash from a bank account.
Oh, so that's what that means. Okay, I thought it was
Bankomat.
VBIR.
It's used for cash.
Okay, so for taking out cash. Okay, so that's what hotovosti means in Czech. Okay.
Hotovosti cash, which in Polish is gotówka.
It sounds like Ukrainian gotivka. Gotivka.
Yeah, so it's very
Yeah,
similar.
we don't have an analog for that in Bulgarian. That's why I couldn't get it the second time and the first time as well.
You don't have the word for cash in Bulgarian?
We do have a word for cash. I was referring to that we don't have an analog for hotovosti in Bulgarian.
So
We
how do you say cash in Bulgarian?
we describe it using a compound noun. It's when you want to refer to something in cash, you would say pari v broj, which means countable money, basically.
Interesting. Gotówka comes from the word gotowy, gotowość, which is ready. So it's like ready to be used immediately. That's gotówka.
Yeah. We don't have such a descriptor for cash in Bulgarian, no.
Okay, so try one more time. How would you translate that into Bulgarian?
Okay. Банкомат, електронно устройство за тегляне на пари. And I'm not sure how I would translate the final part based on the new context, though.
From a bank account.
From a bank account, for
Personal account.
So, final try. Банкомат, електронно устройство за тегляне на пари от банкова сметка.
Okay, and in Russian, how would that be in Russian?
Банкомат – электронное устройство для снятия для снятия наличных денег с банковского счета.
And in Polish it would be bankomat, elektroniczne urządzenie do pobierania z konta bankowego. Pobieramy gotówkę. Albo możemy też powiedzieć wypłaty, do wypłaty gotówki, wypłacamy gotówkę, wypłacać, wybierać, to take out.
Sounds like Russian выплачивать, выплата, but it means paying.
Wypłata in Polish means your pay at the end of the month or salary that you get. Yeah.
Yes.
That's interesting. We use a different prefix for that word in Bulgarian.
What prefix?
We say zaplata.
We also have that, zapłata, but it's wypłata is when you work for a company and is something that you get regularly every month. But zapłata, you might just did a gig, maybe. You get zapłata for a gig, something that you just did
It's
once.
what any worker got for months. The money, заплата, that means that any worker have the money every month after his work.
So that's in Russian. Because what I said, zapłata, obviously it could be that, but wypłata is more like that. Wypłata is something that you expect to get every month. Zapłata, you could use that in this context, but it basically means that it's money that you get for your work. So it's not necessarily something that you get because you signed a contract and they're going to pay it to you every month, whether you work or not, like salary, right? Yeah, it's complicated. We're getting into like very detailed understanding.
I'm not sure if we distinguish between the two types of pay in Bulgarian. The closest thing I can come up with is maybe if it's a gig, you would be paid a certain sum of money, and we use the word sum, like suma, but I'm not sure. I think we also use zaplata for both scenarios. So, yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of terms, they are so specific that people might be using them freely in the conversation that they may not be really using them according to their dictionary meaning,
Yeah, no matter what word you use, you always get understood in the end because there's just so many different cognates across Slavic languages that through context you can infer so much.
Yes. So context is kind of crucial here, and that helps a lot in understanding. But it's also nice to just have a look at the etymology sometimes and see how it's different in different Slavic languages.
I saw in the chat the word mzda.
Uh-huh. Which
We
is
have two words. Vyplata amzda is in Czech language.
Amza, let me see. I can't find it. Who said that?
DQ tube, or I don't know how to say it correctly, unfortunately.
DQ tube. We have two words. Vyplata amzda. Okay. So, what does that mean? Like in Polish, zapłata payment, wypłata paycheck. So that's what I was trying to explain, basically. So payment for your work, it could be. It's a more generic term, and paycheck, wypłata, is more specific.
Okay.
So wypłata is a kind of zapłata, I suppose we could say.
In Russian language, the mzda, this is old form of payment.
Mzda, that's how you say it.
Mzda.
In Sorbian, we have zapłacenie, cienie, and mzda also. So it's a more archaic word in Russian, you say.
Yes, archaic form.
Okay, let me see. Mzda.
Yeah, I think we also might have had some sort of form based on that word in like that we've used in the past, but it's no longer in use in modern Bulgarian. But I can't really remember it, so I'm just gonna stick with us having to use the same word for both types of payment.
Yes, it's very specific. But that's good. But is it Olga is suggesting that mzda in modern Russia means bribe? Is that true?
Maybe. I don't know what does
Maybe
it,
in
what does
slang, maybe in some sort of slang.
it, just a moment. Yes, that's true. This is old form of bribe. But in the modern form in Russian, it sounds взятка.
Wziatka, for a bribe.
Yes.
Wziatka. Okay, so we have to run this through all the languages. So in Polish it would be łapówka. Łapówka, bo dajesz w łapę.
Лапу. Даю на лапу.
Tak. And in Bulgarian?
I'm not sure what we're referring to here.
A bribe.
Bribe.
Bribe. In Bulgarian, that would be podkup.
Podkup.
We use the same word. Подкуп, подкупить.
And in Sorbian would be woptykańskie pieniędzy. Woptykańskie pieniędzy. Okay. And in Czech, uplatek. Uplatek. Which sounds very funny because uplatek sounds like Polish opłatek, which is something that you use at Christmas Eve to share with your family and make good wishes and stuff. So, like kind of bread. Yes, interesting words.
In Russian, in Russian, uplata means that the payment that you must to pay every time for some period, the payment for your house, the payment for your flat, the payment for your electricity, the payment for your internet every month. Uplata.
Oh, in Polish to jest opłata.
Yeah,
Opłata.
for us, these things would be smetki.
Smetki, so a bit different.
And smetki is the plural. The singular is smetka.
It sounds like Russian smeta.
Which
in
means?
Russian, smeta is a document where contains the information of your payments, the total payment.
Okay.
Maybe an installment that you pay every month. No. Pavel suggests maybe rata. Rata is an installment that you pay every month for something that you bought. You bought a fridge, and then you didn't have the full amount, so you pay it
Ah,
by installments.
I
Rata.
remember the word in Bulgarian we use for that. It's vnoska.
Vnoska, okay.
And
Yeah,
in
if you're
Russian,
buying
vnos,
something like fragmented, like if you're paying certain segments for it every month, it's vnoska.
To me, it sounds like a contribution. Like you contribute every month to pay off your.
Yeah, that's what basically is. It's a contribution towards paying out.
contribution to the seller for anything that you bought, for fridge or TV set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, so we could go on like this for the whole evening, but we have to finish the show right now, guys. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. We've done so many challenges today, and it was very interesting. And I'm glad that the thing with AI worked, and we could have the Czech challenges, even though no one from the Czech Republic called us today.
ChatGPT is going to become an essential part in the Hikolinguist show roster. I can feel it already.
Yeah. I mean, this software can generate other languages as well, but you see, like the problem is with the voice generation, because not all languages. I think for Bulgarian it's really bad, and for Croatian it's really bad.
Depends if you use Microsoft Edge or Chrome to read it aloud. I think Edge has a much more varied set of voices for certain languages. It even has Croatian voices as well. So
Does
for
it
subsequent challenges, you could maybe use this to
I will look into it. Yeah.
aloud.
does it depend from your internet browser, the voicing?
I think it does. I think Microsoft and Google have different like text-to-speech voices and included with their respective browsers. I'm personally been using Edge for like 3 years, so I have more experience with the Microsoft ones than the Google ones. So that's why I'm suggesting them for.
Okay, actually, so maybe just the free ones and the Google Translate ones, they don't really have the good voices, but maybe some other plugins could do a better job. I will have a look at this.
Yeah, for one quick mention before we end this off, I'm looking through the list, and there's a whole bunch of languages in the Edge browser: Germanic ones, Semitic ones, Slavic ones. Basically, any language family is covered. It has at least 3 voices per language.
Okay, so Edge, I will try that. I will have a look at this and test it maybe for the next stream. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for hanging out and doing those language challenges. It's been Slavic Languages live show. Next week, I'm going to be streaming on the Ecolinguist channel, so you're welcome to check it out. And I also invite you to subscribe to the Polish Language Hub. The link is in the description if you want to learn Polish with me and do this kind of stream, but in Polish for Polish practice. That's going to be happening on the Polish Language Hub that started today. So check it out. Thank you very much and have a good evening.